Hey everyone. Okay, so here we go. I know it has been a few weeks, a lot going on. Okay, just between hurricanes, work, um, sickness. As most of y'all know, I ended up in the emergency room. Um, the beginning of, well, I guess it was a week ago Monday. Um, so yeah, things have been kind of crazy. So I do apologize. I'm supposed to be, hi y'all. I'm supposed to be doing this every week, and I haven't been able to. So my bad. Okay. Excuse the craziness I got going on here. Hello, Cheryl. Hi, Rhonda. Um, but the last one that I did, I believe it was Joe Chandler who gave the idea to talk about how to speak to deceased loved ones. And I'm like, that's a really good one. That's a really good one. And I want to do that. And I think it's important for many reasons. One, that seems to be the first thing that people ask me about is how they can do that. You know, how do they learn to communicate with their loved ones who have passed? Hey, Tammy. And it's going to sound so weird when I say this, y'all, but I truly mean it. You don't have to learn. You don't have to learn. It's something that you can do. If you have to learn anything, I guess, it would just be to recognize what they're trying to say to you or how they're trying to communicate. And I had a really good example of this last night during a reading that I was doing. We want to believe, I think, we want to believe that when we have that type of communication with spirit, whether it's a deceased loved one or somebody else, that they just show up and sit right next to us and just tell us everything. And fact of the matter is, nothing could be further from the truth. It'd be so easy if it was that way. And sometimes it is. Okay, sometimes it is, and which is awesome because it takes away the guesswork of trying to figure out, okay, who is this person? What do they need to say? What message do I need to give? How do I piece all this together? It takes all that away. So that's beautiful. But it's so freaking rare. Okay? It is so rare that they do that. That you just kind of have to recognize the things that you might poo-poo away. Okay? You have to recognize signs. So again, it's not learning to talk to them. It is just recognizing signs. And all of that comes with trusting yourself. And I've talked about this in multiple books. Hey, Dara. I've talked about this in multiple books. You don't have to have any special skill set for this. You really don't. Except for trusting yourself. That's it. That's your special skill set, is trusting yourself. And I'm going to read that here in just 1 second, Tammy. And that just comes with time. That comes with time and with patience for yourself. Okay? The reading that I had last night was really interesting because didn't even know who it was coming from. Couldn't have picked them out of a lineup. Didn't know. I just knew that I was overcome with the scent of fresh baked banana bread. Fresh baked banana bread. Didn't know who it was. Knew it smelled so good. Oh my gosh, I could have eaten an entire loaf. True story. But I didn't know who it was. But I've learned enough. I've started trusting myself enough to bring those things up during readings. And that's what I did. And sure enough, they knew exactly who it was. That's communication. Okay? Quit thinking that they've got to sit down and talk to you or tell you where you lost something or, tell you I hate to say it, but tell you they're proud of you. Quit thinking it has to be that way. Sometimes sometimes all they can do, all they have the energy to do, is to give you some way to know that it's them if you trust yourself. Okay? That's sometimes that's all they have the energy to do. That could be putting a thought in your head. That could be a song that comes on out of nowhere. That could be, in a dream, which they actually do communicate more in dreams, and we're going to get to that in a minute. But it could be any number of things that on any given day might seem a little strange, And yeah, Lori's right. Yeah. I mean, I told her one time, I want to say it was the very first reading we ever had. I said, it's the strangest thing. I said, but I see you surrounded by citrus and oranges. Seriously. And I won't go into why I saw that, but I had to tell her, and she knew exactly what it meant. Okay? But the point is, if she would have, hi Joe, if she would have thought that, she might not have made the connection. It took it coming from somebody else. And what I want to do is to get you guys comfortable trusting yourself enough. Hey, Jana, girl, it's my girl, y'all, right there. What I want to do is get y'all trusting yourself enough that when something like that happens, you get it. You won't need me to tell you that, oh yeah, well, that is absolutely something. That meant something, and you should trust it. You need to trust yourself enough to know. They're reaching out to you in all kinds of ways. It could be as simple as going into a store and you're in one section of the store and you look over and there is something there that has absolutely no purpose being there. It should be in a whole nother part of the store. And you weren't even looking for it. But the minute you see it, it reminds you of someone. Do you really think that was by chance? Really? I'm here to tell you it wasn't. Okay? It wasn't. There was no such thing as coincidence. Everything is synchronistic. Everything has a purpose. There is a reason for everything. However small, there is a reason for everything. You had a medium tell me every time I messaged her, she smelled hay. That means something. That means something. Now, I know there was another one up here. I don't want to miss it, Tammy. All Souls Day, I was standing at the sink washing dishes, and out of nowhere, I smelled my dad's cologne. And she just smiled. That's all you can do. They don't have to sit down and write out a thesis for you for it to be communication. And as much as I love the show like Ghost Whisperer, which is what got me out of the broom closet in the first place, and other things like that, I think we take that Hollywood version of it and we apply it to ourselves when nothing could be further from the truth. They will let you know in whatever way they can. And it might be small, but it's letting you know they're there. It's letting you know they're looking out for you. A lot of times when I do a reading, it isn't words that come through from the person. It is emotion. It is physical ailments, sometimes mental ailments. It is how they saw themselves or how they live their lives. And they give that to me in feelings, which are then verified by whomever I'm reading for. Same thing can happen to y'all. I ain't special. Ain't nothing special about me. Okay? So you have to start doing the very small thing, which is a big thing, of trusting yourself. When you do this, and I've repeated myself a million times, and I'll repeat myself a million times more. When you start to notice those little things, and you want a clearer picture of what's going on, or what they're trying to say, write it down. It is truly that simple. Write it down. Okay? Especially when it comes to dreams. Write those down. That is where you're going to get the majority of your messages. Now, this is the interesting thing, and this is what I have found so much with people when they talk about dream communication, is they don't poo-poo it away in the same way. A lot of people will look at dream interpretation as symbolic, and it absolutely can be, 100%. I'm not taking that away at all. But there's one rule of thumb that you need to follow if you are talking about a deceased loved one in your dreams. You need to ask yourself one main question, is where you're at with that person in the dream. Have you ever been there with them before? If the answer is no, guess what? That's what you call a visitation. Okay? If it is an event that has never happened with that person, if it is at a place you've never been with that person, if they are wearing or you're wearing clothing you've never seen with that person, that's a visitation. That is your dead giveaway. Okay? Because anything else can be chalked up to a memory that you had, or something that you're having to work through in your own mind in regards to a conflict that you feel that y'all might have had, or a problem that you're trying to work out. But if those other situations apply, never been at that location, different clothes, never had those conversations, never did anything like that, then you were talking about them actually coming to you when your guards are down, and you are not going to shoo that thought away. Okay? You are going to be more receptive to what they have to say. They don't have to expel so much energy because you're in a dream state, and they don't have to physically present themselves or try to move something or expel excess energy for whatever reason. And so you will get clearer communication during a dream state. So when you have checked the boxes on those things that either have or have not happened before, then you know whether or not you need to go ahead and write things down. And when you have another dream with them, write down more information that you can remember. And more and more. Don't get discouraged if it doesn't happen every day for a week. Okay? Time is our concept. The universe doesn't give two craps about it. Okay? We did that. Peoples. Fully living peoples did that whole time concept. So it doesn't mean crap out there. To us, 6 months could be there 6 minutes. So don't get hung up in that. Okay? And also don't get hung up on the fact that it's not happening how you think it should. And that's a hard one, y'all. Even for moi here, okay? That was a hard one for me because I'm like, well, why can't I control this? I mean, I can do all this other crap. Why can't I control how they're doing it? Well, that's a little bit of hubris there, isn't it? Because it's not mine to control, okay? They're doing what they can do to aid me, and I just need to be thankful for it. And to put it very bluntly, if anyone is coming to you who is in spirit, who is trying to communicate, you can't control that either. They're going to tell you. They're going to tell you what they can tell you. You can control how you accept it, but they're going to tell you what they're going to tell you. Now, on that same token, because I just said that you can't control what they tell you, that part's true. Okay? They're going to do what they're going to do as far as being able to give you the information. That having been said, if it is a visitation or a communication that you are uncomfortable with, that you can control, because you can tell them to get the hell on up out of there. Okay? Because, and the reason I said that and I segued into it is because when you open yourself up to be able to recognize and receive communication from loved ones in spirit, guess what else you do? You get to recognize and receive communication from any spirit. Oh, so you got to think this one through, okay? You got to realize, do I really want that? Yeah, and hopefully you do. Hopefully you do. Because you might be able to help, any one of y'all out there might be able to help somebody in a way that I can't. Okay? So we need more of us. We need more of us. Not less. Not more expensive. Not with more hype. But more of us that are open and willing to communicate in a way that is helpful, that is kind, that it has integrity. That's what we need. So when people ask me, Vanessa, why are you trying to help people basically put you out of business? It's because I'm tired, although, hey, I am still running that special. So anyone want 3 1-hour readings for $100? Hit your girl up, because I had a really big hospital bill. But I want people to be comfortable in their own skin, and I want them to be able to communicate and not have to seek out somebody like myself. Now, if you still need me, that's fine. Or need somebody else, that's fine. But you need to have the confidence in yourself as well to understand that you got this. Okay? As much as some people want to believe that they are the cat's pajamas. Okay? The other thing when it comes to communication, do not limit yourself into thinking that if it looks like a still shot photo, excuse me, that they are not communicating. Don't limit yourself. Okay? Because that is very much communication. That is presence. That is showing you a presence, which is stating, without having to say a word, I'm here. Might not have a whole lot of energy to do much more, but show you this, but I'm here. And y'all, sometimes that's all somebody needs. Sometimes that's all you need. All right? Nobody, I don't think anyone wants to do this just so they can figure out where the good china's hidden. Okay? They want to know that their loved ones are okay. They want to know that they have somebody looking out for them on that other side. They want to know that this isn't it. And that they can go on even if it's in a different way. And that they will see those people that they love so much again. That's all. That's all. That's what people are looking for. So if you trust yourself and listen to what your gut is telling you and don't poo-poo it away, then you will find you have communication happening all the time in some way, in some shape, form, or fashion. They are making their presence known all the time. Won't just be when you truly need it, and sometimes it'll be a little bit inconvenient. I ain't gonna lie to you, okay? I've had some very inconvenient moments with that, and I don't mean just on a personal basis. It's happened at work. It's all kinds of stuff. I mean, for a couple of decades now. So you get used to that part and you deal with it. But you will notice it more and more. And it's when you notice it more, you allow it more comes in. This is when you start using your voice and separating whom you want to communicate with and whom you choose to not communicate with. Now, the tricky part of that, and this is something that's not talked about very much, is when you get to that point, you're going to have to be pretty darn specific. You really are. I mean, even coming down to the point to where when you go through and you do any type of cleansing on your house, be very specific. Those don't just say those who love me. Because a stranger can love you, even a dead one, okay? But you can be specific in saying that, family is welcome here. Blood family is welcome here. Family by marriage is welcome here. My dear friends are welcome here. But if we are not that way, you're not welcome here. And please don't come. And they have to listen. They do. Don't believe the shows. Don't believe the shows. Now, I will tell you this, and this got brought up last night in my reading as well. I feel this is super important to point out, because when I find that people start noticing the communication more, the very first word that people use is, but that was scary. I want you to really think about something for a moment. Was it scary or was it different? Okay? This is really important, because fear, unfounded, no offense, but unfounded fear will block communication with your loved ones. Okay? Because you might think it isn't them and that it's something else because the way that it comes through. And what I mean by that is, let's just go ahead and say it. Let's say grandma, doesn't have a lot of energy that she can expel to show herself in a way that you understand. But by golly, she can summon it up just once to go knocking something off a shelf. Okay? Before you get frightened, before you automatically assume that it's something negative, what was knocked off? Look at that first. Which room was it in? Is it something that would connect her to you? Or whomever it is? Is it symbolic? Okay? Look at those things first. Because the only thing that should truly make you fear, is a personal attack or a physical attack. And I don't mean somebody coming up and tapping you on the arm. It's not a physical attack. Believe me, I know. I've had some doozies. Okay? So before you let fear take over, ask yourself those things. Because, like I said, fear will block that. And I think a lot of people mistaken something that is different or that they're not used to for fear. Because when I ask people that, I'm like, okay, so were you afraid or were you surprised? And they're like, well, it was different. It kind of came out of the blue. And I said, okay, so you answered your own question there. You weren't afraid. You were surprised. Well, yeah. Okay, so then why was it scary? Well, I guess it wasn't. No, it wasn't. But you'll block it. You'll block it and not get the very thing that you seek on unfounded fear. Okay? I cannot stress that enough. And I would have to say, if anything keeps people from the one thing they want so much, it is the belief, the very unfounded belief that anything in spirit is negative. Okay? We came into this with the shadow people. I mean, for sake, the people that are automatically like, well, it's a shadow person, y'all, it's negative. It's negative. Seriously? For real? Okay, I don't know where you came up with that, but sometimes that's all the energy they got, is to show themselves in that form. Sorry it's not gold and sparkly. Okay? Sorry it doesn't fit your aesthetic of what you think is safe and happy, but sometimes that's all they got. So take the judgmental glasses off. Your gut's not going to lie to you. If you feel that something is negative or dangerous in your gut, in your belly, okay, get in my belly, if you feel it in there, then by all means listen to it. But if you just heard on TV or on a radio show or whatever, that if it's a shadow person or a shadow whatever, that it's mean and nasty, just get that out of there. Get it out. because that's not true. That is so unbelievably not true. I would say 98.9% of the time you come into contact with anything that's trying to communicate with you in spirit, 98.9% of the time, y'all, it's going to be somebody's child, somebody's grandma, somebody's grandpa, somebody's mom or dad, aunt or uncle, sibling, that is just, or yours, pick any one of those, yours, that are just wanting to let you know they're okay, that you're going to be okay because they're watching out for you, even on the crappy days, okay? And that there is something after what we consider a physical death. So how's that bad? All right? That was the main thing that I wanted to cover. The main thing I wanted to cover. I want y'all to understand that you have it in you. In you. To hear what needs to be heard, to see what needs to be seen, to smell what needs to be smelt, to taste what needs to be tasted. They will come to you in so many different ways. They will have your house filled with the smell of the favorite dish they used to make you. Or there'll be, the cologne, like Tammy said. There are so many ways that they will give you the information that they're around that is specific to them. You just have to pay attention and trust yourself enough to recognize it. And you do not need anybody else, self included, to validate your feelings. If you truly feel that your loved one sent that cardinal, if you truly feel that your loved one played that song on the radio that shouldn't have been on that station, if you truly feel that they did not like that picture of them that you put up and so they flopped it over, you don't need me to validate that, nor anybody else. If you feel it in your gut, that is all that matters. It's all that matters. You know and they know what means something to the both of you. It doesn't have to be a 10-page essay given to you by them or by me or by anybody else. You will feel their presence. You will feel their love. And in turn, they will feel yours. And the more that you acknowledge those feelings, those signs, those instances, the more that bond strengthens and the easier communication becomes. So take away what TV has made us believe is acceptable communication, and instead trust yourself to know your loved one, or to know how that would happen. Trust yourself to know that better than anybody else. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. And I hope you listen, and I hope you try. And if you do have some stragglers come in that decide that they want to talk to, if you can, by all means, please do. Not everybody who passed away has somebody who cares. And so if you can be that person, and it is a safe situation to do so, then by all means do it. You can cohabitate, believe me, with spirits, whether they're loved ones or not. You can cohabitate just fine. Okay, not everybody needs to be sent into some light, okay? Sometimes they just need to know someone cares and someone's going to listen. And that can be you. It doesn't have to be me or anybody else, okay? If they're coming to you, they're coming to you for a reason. Maybe you remind them of somebody that they did love that they don't have a connection with for whatever reason anymore, or maybe you just put off an energy that makes them feel less alone. That's kind of a good problem to have, okay? I mean, a lot of us would love to have that in real life. So to have that after, what a blessing. Okay? So I hope that gives you some confidence to start noticing things that are happening around you daily and giving you some peace in regards to that. Now, Joe, if you're still on here, honey, I think you are. I know that you had wanted me to go over this. Did that help? Does that help? Because, oh gosh, there's so many messages on here. Oh, Donna's, see. Okay, this is Donna. Joe, this is Donna right here. I seriously went and scrolled my thumb up looking, and I saw all these messages. Y'all are blessed. I love you. No joke, Joe. It stopped directly on you that says Donna's picture fell off the wall the other day. No one knew it. That's our girl. Okay? And she stopped my phone right on you. Just so you would know. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? That is what I'm talking about. It doesn't have to be something crazy. It doesn't have to be anything monumental. It just has to mean something. So trust yourself. Trust yourself. Believe that when they communicate with you, that they know what they're doing to the best of their ability, and they trust you to acknowledge it. They don't need you to question yourself. Okay? So y'all have given me a lot on here. Oh, bless you. Oh, hello everybody. Oh, and thank you, Joe, for saying it did. I appreciate y'all. All right, and y'all, the stars, bless you. I didn't expect that at all. I appreciate y'all so much. And next week, whatever topic, y'all put some topics on this chat. I will go through it after, and we'll pick one, and that'll be the topic. No holds barred. Whatever you want to know, we'll go over it. We'll have ourselves a nice, good little chat. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go and get me something to eat, and then I'm gonna read all these and love on y'all, and just I appreciate you. Mwah. I'll talk to y'all next week. Bye.